If you want to write a book and become a best-selling author, you're in the right place. At Elite Online Publishing, we can help you create, publish, and market your book so that it becomes a #1 bestseller. We work with a limited number of authors to ensure that they receive the best possible service. So if you want to learn how to write and publish a book that will empower you to smartly grow your brand, business, and credibility, apply today. We look forward to working with you.
Hey everyone, it's Melanie Johnson with Jen Foster. We're the owners of Elite Online Publishing, and this is the Elite Publishing Podcast. So I know a lot of you have questions about, I'm starting a book. How should I publish it? Should I do traditional? Should I do self-publishing? Should I do hybrid publishing? It is darn confusing. And, the author we have today, Mikelann Valterra, I'll get it out today. I'm having tongue twisters going on. She published in 2004. So it's a whole new world since she published. Right now, there is the Wild West of you can do it yourself. You can hire someone to do it for you. So we're going to walk her through and kind of have this conversation of how should she go about publishing her book. Hey, Mikelann, thanks for joining us today.
I am so happy to be here. Thanks. I love being able to chat for a few minutes about this. I've been debating this very topic.
Well, let's talk for a little bit about traditional publishing and how you published back in 2004, because that was the only option then. What kind of work or how did it go after you had your book finished on getting a publisher? How did that process work?
Yeah. So in 2004, I was super traditional, meaning, I hired an editor. I wrote a nonfiction book proposal, including, the outline, what we thought would happen with marketing, the first couple chapters, et cetera, et cetera. I got a wonderful agent, and then my agent shopped the book proposal to, and this is my words. I know this is not quite the industry words, but it felt like she shopped me to first the A houses, and then she shopped me to the B houses. And then you kind of don't know how it's going to go, like who's going to pick you up, if anyone does, right? But I was picked up by Career Press and published in 2004. And then, as part of that, I got it's been so long. Did I get $5,000 or $10,000? It's funny. You think I would remember that really clearly now. And then they basically helped me with 3 months of marketing. And so for 3 months, I did a lot of radio. I did a lot of radio talk shows, And that was it, and then after that, I was on my own and I didn't know anything about marketing books. I look back now and I don't think I would have said I don't know anything. Looking back, I'm like, oh my God, I knew nothing. So, and I'm a professional, I'm a money coach. It's always been a positive thing to have written a book. But I never thought that it got out the way that I wanted it to be. And what's the point of writing a book if only your mother reads it? So, although my mother loved my book, Well,
and it was a great topic. Why women earn less?
Yes.
Earn less money. That's a great
topic.
Topic.
Yeah. How to make what you're really worth. Yeah. No, my mom was a huge fan, and obviously we all have our group of fans, but yeah, so that's the big question. That was a lot.
How long did it take, that whole process from starting with, I got to find an agent, to having a book live and being published out to the public?
2 years.
Wow. 2 years. So think about, like, if you're using that book to get new clients and use it for your business, it's 2 years that you didn't do it versus if it took like 6 months or 3 months. You could start making money with it that much faster, of how much revenue might have got left on the table during that time frame. Oh
my God, that's so true. Well, and and the irony for me over the years has been, I'm a good writer. I love writing. Writing wasn't the issue. Like, I'm a writer. I've been blogging for 25 years. I have so many self-published little ebooks, all that stuff. So I always thought it was an irony that I'm like, well, wait, the one skill I have is writing, but it just took forever.
Wow. And you use your book for business, which is really key. I think that people don't realize, like, I've got a book, now what? But I have to say, Mikelann, you are really good at creating little ebooks and having them on their site as lead magnets. So that's really great. That's a tip for everyone doing a nonfiction book for their business, of turning blogs into little ebooks. I think is a great idea.
Right.
Let's dive into, you've got a new book coming out. You've got a working title. let's start with your title. Now I'm going to say the title that you gave us, right? A Woman's Guide to Creating the Life of Her Dreams. Is that the working title?
No, that's the subtitle. Look at the
Okay.
second one. The title is Of Love, Money, and Tango.
Okay.
Of Love, Money, and Tango, a guide to fulfilling your own heart's desire by transforming your relationship with money. I'm not pretending it's the best title. That's the working title right now.
As long as you have
Money and
transforming
Tango.
your life with, with money, because
Yeah.
Love, Money, and Tango. God, I could think that would be a novel, right?
Yeah.
Romance.
Yeah.
Someone stole my money, or there was a crime involved, and there's something else sexy in there.
Yeah, that's why we need the subtitle. A guide
Yes.
to fulfilling your own heart's desire by transforming your relationship with money, which is probably too many words.
No, I think I really like it. So we have a title formula that we use when we're helping our authors, and it has to be, who the audience is for, what problem they're solving, and what the benefit is of the book, like what they're going to get. So if you think of like, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, you know exactly what you're going to get when you read that book, because you're learning, oh, I'm going to learn. I know it's nonfiction. I know I'm going to be a highly effective person, create good habits. So I think that the subtitle you have meets most of those things, except for the part where, is it written for women or is it written for everyone?
Women.
So, because you didn't have women in the second one we said.
That's a good point.
So a woman's guide to fulfilling your own heart's desire by transforming your relationship with money. Now it does sound really long, but if it fits in the Amazon, however many characters you get, I would use it just because Amazon is a search engine, and the more keywords you have in your title and subtitle, then the more people are going to find your book.
Oh, I didn't ever think about it that way. Okay.
Yeah,
So
because people search Amazon to just see reviews on their hairdryer or whatever, right? So they're going to search Amazon for, I want a money book. So they're going to type in money book, or they're going to type in relationship with money or women in money.
Yeah.
Right?
So a woman's guide to fulfilling your heart's desire by transforming your relationship with money.
I like that.
And then let me ask you, how does Love and Tango fit into the story of the book?
So the book in some ways is a tell-all of being a money coach for 25 years and how I have used the process that I teach my clients, how to create a nourishing spending plan to create the life you most want, how I've used the process I teach my clients to create my own life. And so all of the lessons of using it in my life to create a life where people are constantly fascinated with tango, right? So if I'm a huge Argentine tango dancer. That's my passion and hobby. So if I'm not money coaching by day, in my personal life, I'm dancing by night. So the book is about a lot of metaphors about money and teaching about money through the life I've created around being a tango dancer.
So it's
I like
kind
that.
of a
The life of
memoir
a
in a
dance.
way, right?
It's a little bit like a memoir. Yeah. I mean, when I say it's like a tell-all, it really is. I mean, I've survived, my own crazy divorce and found love again in tango. And I, stay on top of my own money so that I can have enough money for all my tango. Right. So it really is a very personal book about money coaches' stories of what's happened around my journey around money and how I've used this process to create the life that I love, which is about tango, so that people can use these lessons to create the life that they love. And maybe their passion is horses or, whatever it is. Right. But that was kind of the angle that I have been enjoying.
Awesome. So now what are you thinking about going from traditional in 2004, where you couldn't self-publish your book? What are some of the questions you have about what choice should you make now? What direction should you go in to publish your book this time?
Oh goodness, so many, but I'll just throw the ones that are on the top of my mind. I'm a writer, not a real big techie person. And so I'm like, I don't know how things work in terms of like loading things on Amazon, kind of the whole process of that. Will I be seen as legitimate if it is totally self-published and not mainstream published? And then I think my third big question is around marketing, right? It's like, if I'm going to do a full self-publish, I'm like, okay, I'm a money coach, not a marketing person, So that's my big question. And I keep hearing the term hybrid publishing. And I'm like, well, would that solve some of that? I don't know.
Yeah, some of it is like, so the time wise, like, look, if you go the traditional route, like you did before, you're 2 years out.
Right.
And do you want to afford, how much money are you going to lose in 2 years that book could generate that you could send to potential clients for you? So there's that part of it. And you're not going to get much more than you did before, maybe $5,000 to front of that. And they're really not doing much marketing for you. And radio's kind of dead. So we're going to suggest, if when you do your marketing, do podcasts like this are going to help to promote it versus radio. Hybrid, what's the definition of hybrid? So some people may say we're a hybrid. We think that we're really a boutique publishing company. But so just be careful when you go out there, because there's hybrids that kind of act like they're traditional publishers, meaning they take a portion of your royalties, right? So they're still going to charge you some money to work with them, but they're going to split the royalties with you. So you may pay less than someone who's going to give you 100% of the royalties. But then what we have found, because we get authors calling us all the time, that they feel like they've been misled, they don't have their intellectual property.
The
So
control.
what happens is they publish your book under their name, so under their account. So the royalties come to them first, and then they come to you. And meaning, if you want to get into your account now and say, gosh, I want to change the price of my book, you can't do that because it's not your account, it's under theirs. You have to ask them to do it. And they could say, no, we're not doing that. You want to publish an audiobook from it, they could decide, no, they don't want to do it, but they own your account. You might want to make an update or update your cover or your content, and you can't get in there to do any of those changes. Versus even order your books. You have to go through them to order your books. And that's one of the things that they get you on, is they'll charge you extra for all the books you order. So like if you're speaking somewhere or you've got a bulk order of books for 100, 500 books, they'll charge you extra for those books to do that. So be aware of that. And that's still not a bad way to go for some people, because they don't really care about the royalties. They might not be pushing that much to Amazon for their orders and maybe using it for business. Then there's companies more like ours that you're going to get 100% control, but you still want to make sure that you get a thumb drive with all your content. You want your final formatted files. You want your final cover design. You want all of that, everything that they create for you. You want to have that on your computer, because we get authors that come to us and they go, I don't have my final formatted manuscript. They never gave it to me. Like they want to relaunch their book or they want to add it. So we'll do
Second
like a bestseller
edition
campaign
or
for them.
new cover.
So either we say, I'm sorry, we can't get into they can't get into their account for us to do it. Or, oh my gosh, you're starting from scratch. You're going to have to pay again to get your book all formatted. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's fascinating. Wow. Okay.
Yep. So think about that, and then make sure when you're looking for a publisher that you don't just interview the people that they give you, which is great. They have testimonials, but go on Amazon and search the publishing company's name. And then see what books come up, so you can see other people that maybe have worked with them, and you can connect with them on social media just to make sure that they've had a great experience.
Yeah, not just the people that they would want you to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
what
then
we find with a lot of authors that come to us, we call it the publishing handcuffs, because what happens is they've been published, but now they want to do like a bestseller campaign, or they want to do a new cover or a second edition, and they don't have access to their account. They don't have access to their book. They can't change anything on the book, so they have to start all the way over. So when that happens, you do have to start over, or try and work with the publisher you were working with to get the files.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the number one reason why I would be writing a book is to draw to me my ideal client. It's not about making money from the sale. Right.
Right.
I do honestly think that I have something to say that would be helpful for many women, not just because they may never talk to me or never be my client, so, but again, that's about getting a message out there, not about, it's not about, I'm not royalty focused. I'm more like, how do you get the message out?
Which is really good, because those are the type of authors we love working with, because in nonfiction books, it shouldn't be about how many books you sell. It should be about how many people are going to read my book and hire me for my service. Because, the few dollars royalties you get on each book is nothing compared to the thousands of dollars that you get with book coach or with being a money coach. So that's one thing we love to tell our authors is the very beginning of the book, right after the table of contents or right before the table of contents, to have that call to action in the book, whether it's to go and sign up for the free thing on the website, or to visit the website for more information, or to, take a survey or whatever that call to action is, so that you can find out who your readers are. Because Amazon doesn't tell you who buys your book. They don't say, oh, here's all the list of the people, here's their email addresses. No, they don't do that. And neither does Barnes and Noble or any of the other bookstores either.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Interesting. Oh, such good information. I love it.
Yeah. And since you're just starting to write that book, make sure you have that call to action, and then also pepper it into your story, right? I know you are already, because you're talking about being a coach, and make sure you have some stories in there about how you've helped people and some of the journeys that you've had with that they can be great illustrations. And using that book when people work with me, when clients have worked with me, when this, person, we walked through this was some of the things that we had. So then it does tie them into that. Now, the other thing, since you're working on the book now, make sure people say, when should I start promoting my book? And most people don't start until after the book is written, and they're like 30 days, 60 days, whatever, out from publishing it. So it's great for you to engage your social media now and tell them you're even writing a book. Hey, this is my subtitle. What do you think about this? Here's my top 3 subtitles. What do you think about it? Here's the book cover. So when you're doing your book covers and having different ones, engage that social media audience. Another thing it's going to do for you is going to give you that accountability to push that up and get the book out on time or sooner, because you've got all the other people you're talking to get it out and do it.
I love that. Yeah, no, it's exciting for me to even talk about it right now, right? I mean, it's like, it's a real thing that's out there and it's not done. So
yeah.
We're really excited for you to get your book finished. But let's wrap up and tell people where they can go to get more information about you and your money coach.
So seattlemoneycoach.com, seattlemoneycoach.com. And I love working with women that are just rocking it in midlife, but they are frustrated about money. So I just encourage people to book a free discovery call. And I love to see, what is the one thing I can help you figure out that's keeping you from feeling in control of your money? And that way, hopefully you can move off and do your tango or horse riding or hobby or travel and just love your life more.
Or write your best-selling book. There you go.
Exactly. Live your best life. That's what we're all about. How do you do that?
Thanks for joining us today. And if you're looking to write your book, we guarantee when you work with us, you'll either be a Wall Street Journal or Amazon International bestseller. Make sure you reach out to us at eliteonlinepublishing.com and hit that submission button. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
If you want to write a book and become a best-selling author, you're in the right place. At Elite Online Publishing, we can help you create, publish, and market your book so that it becomes a #1 bestseller. We work with a limited number of authors to ensure that they receive the best possible service. So if you want to learn how to write and publish a book that will empower you to smartly grow your brand, business, and credibility, apply today. We look forward to working with you.